Good morning, guys. Lillian with Lily Ray's collection. Today we're going to continue working on our Epiphany small junk journal TN style for tags. Now yesterday, this by the way is currently in my shop, and what I've decided to do is to change the cover and just add a new printable template with the additional tags, so that you know which collection pertains to this journal the TN that we're currently working on. So what I decided to do, I was looking at what we had accomplished in this TN style for tags. And I decided we had this string, this elastic, with this on it. Now, I wanted to embellish the front, but I didn't want the elastic to continually go over it like that. So I figured out a way to I dyed the seam binding with both of these. This is Rusty Hinge and Gathered Twigs. And I figured out that I could use the seam binding, which I love, as a closure. And take my plastic here. This, I could hardly see this. You could hardly see this. It's a plastic needle. And I use this when I crochet to tuck in my ends. So I'm going to take it and double that up, making sure it's even. Just like that. And then I took the center insert out, which is this one. And then I put it through this hole that's already there. Pull it gently so that it doesn't affect your opening, doesn't make it ratty. Then let's see, so this is the one you want to pull out. So let's see which end that is. Let me hold on to this one. Here we go. How did I do? Yeah, okay. Gotta think about what I did. Okay, so this is the end that's closed. You're going to go ahead and pull your needle out, and then bring this back down. Try and straighten that ribbon up as much as you can, just so that it's neat. Okay, so I'm going to leave this like a hook. Then I'm going to take and both of these, I'm going to just swing it around the center, straightening the lace out or the ribbon out. And then I'm just passing it through the hole, through the opening, crisscrossing it on itself, right? So we have this like this, so you could see that? They both through the opening, and then just gradually pull it. And pull it gently. You want to make sure, you want to try and have your ribbon, your seam binding, straight. Okay, so there you have, and you don't have to tighten it completely, it's going to hold. So now we have an enclosure. So this is just like a gift box, like that. and then you swing it around to the front. Then I thought we could go ahead and put this plate through. And I want the plate to stay somewhat stationed. So then this is going to go through here. Again, this is why this needle is good, because it just pulls everything through without any guessing. Alright, so that's that. Now we have the seam binding behind there. Okay, I want to center it as best as I can. So that's going to be the the closure, right? But I don't want this swinging around. So we're going to do the cover first. We're going to finish what we where we left off, and then this we'll insert as soon as we finish the cover. So now, last night I went ahead and printed out this envelope again, and this is in the template. I added these two pieces because I didn't want it to be plain, right? I wanted that to look like that, but I also wanted this to be like that. Okay, then I added, this was a scrap piece of paper, this was a scrap piece of paper. I butted it together with the new tags that we have for this collection, and I put them together. So now that fits there. I hole punched that there, and from this I'm going to add a seam binding there. But before we close that, then of course I wanted this lace, that lace piece, to be right about under the flap, and then this would go like this, just like that. I hope you could see that. And then I do want to tack these down, but I want to kind of curl them in a little bit, like that, and then tack it down. And I may round the corners, I'm not sure yet, but let's see what happens. So the first thing is I'm going to tack this down. Excuse my I have allergies. I find that when you spread the glue like this with something, it doesn't bubble the paper as much, and it tacks better. So that's that. Let me just move this out of the way. Okay, so we have that there. And now this piece is going to be tacked here. want it to go up and under. The bottom doesn't matter because it's not going to show. But I do want that to be under there. Alright, let's just put a little more glue on that. Okay. Then we're going to take and we're going to close that like that. Let me see something. I was thinking maybe I could put lace there and then across here. And that should serve the same way like that. So we're going to do 3. Okay. And then this one is probably this one's 2. So I'm going to do 2 for that one under there. And then of course we have to cut it at an angle. And then 2 for there. Alright, so let's do this. Like that. Then this one's going to be just cut at an angle so that it doesn't have any bulk. And I'm going to push it over. Yep. And the same thing with this one. Just line it up like that. Okay, now let's do this side. And now the last piece. You want to make sure you have that flow of the little flowers that are on top. So we're going to do the same thing with this one. Just like that. Whoops. I'm recording. Okay, so those pieces are done there. And now I think they can be tacked down like that. So I'm going to just put a little blob in the center and let that spread on its own, but keeping it like lifted a little bit. I have to get a let me put this on top until I get the safety pin. I'm going to use this paper clip instead. That should take a minute to dry. And then I'm going to do the same thing on here. Whoops. Okay, let me see if I can take this out. And then just let it hold there. Okay? Now, just like that, we can work with it. Very pretty. I think I'm going to put something here as well. What I should have done was just put one here. No matters. No worries, there's plenty of lace. Okay, so now we're going to do this one. I'll cut it right on this line. That's the back and that's the front. So now we're going to go ahead and just tuck it under. Just like that. And it doesn't have to be even. Make sure your glue gets under there. This is definitely embellishing your envelope to the fullest. But doesn't it look beautiful? If you take your time, you know, things work out. I do what the project, where the project takes me. And it's okay that this is showing because it just adds to the vintage beauty of the envelope. See that? And now I don't even have to seal that. I can just seal it on the bottom. But I'm going to seal it. There's no reason to keep it open. I have the tag that's a perfect fit for that. Now, do I want to finish it up by putting that there? Maybe I do. I think I will. Let's see, let me do it. Let's do it here. Let me cut extra. And then this is the back of it. So I'm just gonna hold it. The right side is facing me. So you gotta make sure of that, because when you cut, the angles are gonna be different. So I'm gonna do that and that. So now I'm just gonna take it like this and put it right on top, like that. I hope that made sense. What a gorgeous envelope. Okay, so now we are going to seal it. I'm gonna go just midway to kind of keep it open. Lift it so you don't wet the inside. And just let that fall. To the bottom. Just leave that for a minute. This actually is still not dry. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside and let this dry. Alright, so now I'm going to take, what am I doing next? Okay, we're going to put this back. Actually, let me close this. Let me put my needle back, because if I don't put it back, I will lose it because it is so thin. And these you can pick up, I think, at Walmart in the sewing section. All right. So now the next step is going to be, I'm going to take, I printed out the envelope in the printable templates, and I'm going to cut this out, and then we're going to fold it, and this is going to be a back piece. So I'm going to cut this out, and I will be right back. Alright, I've cut the vellum envelope out, and now I'm going to score it, and you have to really score it gently because it will tear. So just gently, ever so slightly. We may not need the flap, but I didn't want to cut it off until I know for sure. And I wanted to let you know that these, when I created the template, I created it straight, but I always cut at an angle to give it a bit more room. So if you want, you could do the same. If not, you could just leave them as is. It's up to you. And the same with the top. And again, as you can see, it's just a sliver. Okay. Now, oh, and the same thing with this. I like to cut these at an angle. Oops. So let me see. This is, yeah, should go like this. Now this is vellum, which doesn't fold so easily. So you just gotta help it. And this is the vellum that I used. Oops, right there. Graphics, 24 clear, no, 12 clear sheets, acid free, and it's 8.5 by 11. Okay, I hope you can see that information right there. Okay. Just checking on my envelope to make sure that it closes. I think it needs more glue. Alright, so let's do the bottom flap. Actually, as you can see, when it does fold, it folds crisp lines. And it stays, isn't it? I think it's the second time that I print out on vellum. And then this one, right there. So it's going to be closed like this. Alright, but I wanted to make washi tape out of this. So I'm going to make it about, let me see, 1, 2, and 3. So 3/4. Make it a full 3/4. 1, 2, and 3. So right about there. And then do the same. 1, 2, and 3. And then this one we're going to make a little bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is good. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Alright, and before I cut this out, let me get my tape. You're just going to put your tape right along the back of this. And this is a non-generic tape. And notice I don't go over that little gusset. You could also make your washi out of the vellum, which I actually should have just printed out something on it and then created the washi. But maybe I'll have that just as a specific segment. How to make washi with vellum. Okay, now let me see. Oh, this paper's so crappy. Yeah, this paper is just like really bad paper. Let me, instead of doing that, let me just slice it. I wanted it to look a little bit organic, but this paper is so flimsy that we'll just do the ends a little jagged. We'll use this one first. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to see if I can rip it so that it looks like real washi, like that. And then the same thing with, let's do it this way. I'm going to take this, have to burnish it. And this way, if you do your washi this way, or actually using vellum, you can always match up your collection with your washi. Okay, let's see if this one can come out. Okay. Alright, so to seal this, I'm just going to patch it like I'm taping it down, right? And then the same thing here. I'm going to do the jagged edge. I want to put, maybe I could put it around like this, in the front, like wrap it. Let me do this one. Just like that. Cut it. Maybe we'll do it like this. Maybe we'll just put it dead center. Let's use this one. See how this one is more organic on the edge there? That was when I was tearing it with my fingers, but we're going to use it because that's the look we're going for. Alright, and now you have your envelope. And again, I don't know if I want that color here, or do I want to... You could do one or two things. Just for storage. Yeah, let me see something here. I want to use my tape runner just right around here to see if it's gonna hold it. So now you just stick it on your arm and it holds. See that? And it'll take it out without ripping the washi. Okay? I kind of like that. Now, the back, do I want to leave that open to be able to tuck something in? I guess we can, it won't hurt anything. So let's see. Now we're going to take the double-sided tape. Even though you're going to lose some space there. You can just tuck a couple of things in there. You can put the mini tags that were extra in there. Okay, so this is the back. Let me see. I'm going to throw this string like this because I want this to be this way. So like this. Right? So I'm going to take my tape runner. And then we're going to take the envelope, the vellum envelope, now I'm going to set this here like this. Right there. Yep. And then now if you want to put something in there, you can. Let's see what this tag fits in there. Sure, look how pretty. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So the back is done. I may put a little something here, I'm not sure. But now let's work on the front. So this one is going to be placed down in the same way. Let me take this out. Let me see if it... It's still a little open. See it? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because I am going to put this here, and then this is going to sit right on top like that. So let me put the envelope down first. Make sure that we know where this is going to be placed. So right about there. Right there. So now I'm going to put the glue on this. Because I want the plate to stick to the seam binding and the seam binding to stick to the envelope. Let's make sure. Like that. Like that. So now It's okay if this is loose. I don't want to glue it down there. Just want to make sure that this holds. So I'm going to let this dry and then I will be right back. Alright, I think this is dry. Let's go ahead and finish up this tag that's going to go in the pocket. I cut off some of the seam binding for the closure. Okay. That fits perfect. I put a bottle cap, a key, and then this is a paper bead that I've made that you could dangle something off of as well. I put it on a garment clip, and now I'm just going to, I was going to put the garment clip here, but because it's glued, it's still a little not completely dry. I'll put it here where the lace, the seam binding is, and just hang it from there for now. Okay, you close your clip, and it should, what happened here? And it should dangle with no problem as she closes and something pulls out. What happened here? Alright, we'll put that on, but I have to get my tools out, so I'm not going to do that right now. I'll just fix it and add it. Okay, let's go ahead and tie that up a little tighter. That dangles like that. And then let me just go ahead and add the center insert. Alright, and you still have another elastic available right there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put the rest of the washi tape that we created inside your vellum bag. See anything that you need handy to grab right away, you can just put in this bag. That seals on its own. Your extra seam binding. Okay. I'm going to fix that and add that back. And so let's go ahead and take a look. I went back yesterday and instead of using the short tags with the muslin on them, I took the muslin off, kept the envelope in, and also the tag, because that's just writing space for you. So now you can just add it there, and you have a tag here, you have one standing here, see this little one here, and then you have this long one that I added. So now you'll have about 6 of them that I added into the long pockets, because it made more sense that way. Here's another one. And here's another one. And they all have where you can write in the back. And then this one, I was going to make a little notebook, but I'm sure you guys know how to do that. So I'm just going to take this and put this right back where it belongs here. And then take this and just stick that down like that. And here's another tag. I love that blue. And then here's another envelope with its insert. Again, you can add another notebook there. It's about paper and pockets. Another tag here with a small one. Another tag here. And you can do both the tag and the envelope in here because they will fit together. Here are two more envelopes with their tags, and the flap is not glued down, so you could use that as well if you wanted a different closure. Alright, here's another tag. I think the longer tags made more sense. And then here, this is the envelope that holds a little notebook that I used the tiny attacher with in the center, and you have about 10 pages here, so 5 on each side. Okay. Put it like this. And then here's another tag. Well, Willow, this one was for you. You said you wanted to see something, you were looking forward to something different with that Christmas printable template. This is the Christmas printable template, but if you look at it side by side, you couldn't tell that it was the same because I've done something completely different. And then here, we added the vellum pocket. You have a tuck in the back. It goes all the way down. This is just very flimsy. I don't have a piece of anything here. Let's see. When you need a piece of paper, you just don't have it. Okay, let's try one of these. This is actually part of the template. You gotta watch because it's gonna stick. So, oh, I forgot about the lace. I mean the ribbon. Oh, there it is. It goes through all the way down. See that? Okay, you could use these because this is part of the template. So as I said, I'm going to do a separate copy of this particular book with the name being Epiphany small TN style tags. So I will make sure to take a picture of that, and it will be in my Etsy store today. So guys, this is it for this beautiful book. I love the way it turned out. Alright, and there you have it. Alright guys, thank you for joining me today. This is the finished product for your Epiphany small junk journal TN style tags. Look for that in my store. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And remember, in order to qualify for any kind of giveaway that I may be doing at whatever time, I select a random video that has comments on them. If you don't leave a comment, then you don't qualify for the giveaway, because I use Random Picker, which works with comments within each item. So for example, the comments from this video, comments from another video. So if I select this one, it will only select from these comments. I just wanted to make that clear. And you also have to be a part of my you have to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please don't just subscribe for the gifts. I know someone that just did that. And it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, you know. You try to share your knowledge and be grateful for the subscriptions. So Subscribe to my channel only if you're interested in what I am currently creating. Also, my Facebook page, my private group, you have to be a part of that as well. So, with that said, I'm going to say goodbye, and I will see you soon. Take care, and thank you for joining me, and welcome to all of my new subscribers. We're almost at the 300 mark. 300 subscribers. Thank you, and I appreciate you so much. Take care.